So throughout my life, I read 100 finance books, you name it, either Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover or The Psychology of Money. And this is something that I learned after reading 100 finance books. You want to know the secret? Here's the secret. I read 99 books. Too many. That is exactly true. You do not need to read so many finance books to get better with finances. A lot of times this will cripple you and it will cause you to do nothing. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 5 reasons why reading so many finance books is not going to help you get rich. And in the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion of what I actually learned from reading those books, and it has nothing to do with getting rich. The first reason, and I know a lot of you guys resonate with this, it's information overload. A lot of times you're reading these finance books and there's just so much information in that book. I mean, so much information. You think you got it, you think you understand it, you think everything is great, and then you say, let me read another book. And you read another book and it's completely the opposite of what you read on the first book. Having too much information sometimes will cause you to just want to do nothing because you feel like you're going to make a mistake. A lot of people that read finance books, that's the reason why they read it. They're so afraid to make financial mistakes. And the more information you receive, the more you're going to think you're going to make mistakes. Let me also give you guys an example, okay? Some books will give you like an aggressive strategy. This is investing in crypto, all this crazy type of risky endeavors. Other ones is really conservative, to invest in bonds, keep your money in regular savings accounts. Yes, there's so many things that you could choose from and it gets so confusing. My advice to everyone out there that gets this information overload is this: just choose selected few books, okay? Just read one book or two, not so many books, just to change your mindset and get you investing. The second reason why I think I've read way too many finance books is this: they are completely outdated and repetitive. How many times have you guys read a book and it's just repeating? Every time I read the book, it's repeating the same thing. Spend less than what you make, and then, save 15%, save 20%, yada, yada, credit cards are bad. All right, I get it. The books are all the same. They're just repeating each other continually. Now, it's good to reinforce that, to reinforce the importance of building a good money foundation. But guys, once you hear it once, you don't need to hear it repeatedly, continually, the same thing over and over. Like, here's an example of things that get repeated continually. How many times have you read a finance books and all they're doing is just quoting either Dave Ramsey or Rich Dad Poor Dad? That's all they're doing. Every book is just constantly quoting those popular books because it knows so many people have either read that book. But if a new book is going to continue to quote an old book, you might as well just read the Dave Ramsey and Total Money Makeover and the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that's it. You don't need to have these newer books just continually quoting all of these older books. So once you learn the core principles of budgeting, saving, and investing, that's it, guys. You do not need to read any more books that's going to talk about the same thing. Oh yeah, I need to add this as well, as far as being outdated. A lot of these books do not talk about what's going on during these current times, with inflation being so high, with social media continually trying to grab your attention to make you do some risky investing. That is the reason why these books don't really work, because a lot of times, guys, we have issues today and we want to get those issues resolved, and a lot of the information is outdated. Don't even please get me started on the Dave Ramsey saving $1,000 for emergency fund. Do not get me started. The next reason is this: they lack personalization. A lot of these books don't focus on you. It focuses on things generally. Okay, it generalizes so many financial situations and it doesn't take yours into account. Let's say, for example, you're not a risky person. This whole book might be discussing a lot of risky endeavors, something that you do not want to get into because you're probably at a later stage in your life where you just want to coast. You want to put your money into safer securities and just coast. A lot of these books are not like that. Some of them, especially when it's trying to teach you how to get rich, is always something extremely risky. And this is a two-way street. It might be reverse. You might be someone that's younger and is willing to take on the risk. And some of these books don't talk about it. So talking about bonds and other type of investments, T-bills, that you probably have no interest in. So this is what I recommend. Once you start learning all about the basic stuff in finances, then you start making your own personal financial world, okay? Don't rely on a book to tell you exactly what to do. Take pieces from the information you're learning, okay? Pieces from what you've discovered from hearing podcasts or whatnot, and create your own personalized finance. But do not expect these books to tell you exactly what to do. The next reason why it's bad to read so many finance books is this: you are doing nothing with the information you're learning. A lot of times people are reading continually about finances and they know what to do, and guess what? They do nothing. Some people had read between 15 to 20 finance books and they never opened a brokerage account. You know who you are. There's so many people out there that know exactly what to do and they still don't put money in a 401k. They still don't invest. They still don't have an emergency fund. So you need to put things into action. You see, reading all these books is great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. It's great to learn. But the problem is, once you learn what you need to do, you need to actually do it. And a lot of these books, with all this information, sometimes never allows you to take that first step to start investing. So this is what I recommend for people out there that struggle with this, is if you're going to read a book and it's giving you any recommendations, please consider the recommendations and execute it, process it. Do not just read and do nothing about it. If you find a new way to do a budget, well, then go ahead and do your budget that way. Do not just read and do nothing. It's not getting you anywhere, because we all know in order for people to learn and to grow, you got to put some action, okay? You have to actually do these things so you can learn and you can get better at it. So if you're reading investing books, you know what you need to do? Invest. And the fifth reason, this by far is the most important thing, and I was kind of touching on it a bit in my last one, which is this. You got to just go out and do things. You cannot just read these books and do nothing. You actually have to go out and execute. Simple as that. The best way to learn is not from reading the book. The best way to learn is to actually performing, to go out there and try things. Now, I'm not saying to do anything risky, like saying I'm gonna try doing crypto. No, I'm saying you take baby steps. For example, you start learning how to budget. You try it. If you do a great job at it, that's awesome. You go on to the next thing. Then you start learning how to invest. You have a job, you have the 401k, you start putting money into your 401k account. If you have the opportunity to open up a Roth IRA, you open up a Roth IRA account. Then you start investing into safe type of securities, okay? For example, well, it's not safe, because nothing's 100% safe, but you could put money into an index fund that follows S&P 500. A lot of people recommend that. You probably heard of VU, the Vanguard account. So many people put money into that in order to start investing. Start with that. But you have to just put some action. That's the key to learning about finance, guys, is you need to do action. A lot of times people get so worried and so nervous and paralysis of analysis and don't do anything. And that's the biggest mistake that people make with finances, is doing anything, because time is crucial. Compound interest is your best friend. With time and compound interest, that's how you're going to build wealth. You're not going to build wealth by sitting there, continue reading this book and saying, wow, that was awesome. 20 pages out of 300 was actually stuff that I can actually do. I wonder if I could do it differently. Then you read another book, and then you read another. Just stop it. One book is all you need to read. That's it. You read one book, you process, you execute, you do whatever's in that book that's actually helping you out. Then when you have questions, you look for a book for that specific question. And let's be quite honest, you do not even need to read all these books. You can read an audio book, you can read a podcast. There's so much information out there. My YouTube channel, subscribe, cheap plug, but that's true. You can watch my YouTube channel, and I will teach you as well how to finance and invest safely and slowly. So those are the reasons why reading all those books really is not going to help you. But I'm going to tell you this. There is something that is important with reading as many books as I had read, okay? Which is this. It's not going to teach you how to get rich. None of these finance books teach you how to get rich. What they're doing is shifting your mindset, okay? And that I find really critical, is the fact of you have to continually shift your mindset. You cannot just stick with the scarcity mindset. You gotta shift with abundance mindset. If you're someone who has a scarcity mindset, that doesn't happen overnight, okay? It takes a lot of work and practicing on the actual principles that you're learning in order to build an abundance mindset. And sometimes you need to continually hear it. Abundance mindset, invest, don't worry about it, risk is okay, invest, risk okay. You need to hear all of this in order for you to keep on going. Because if you're not, then it is difficult. So to me, that's what these finance books are. It's just a cheerleader on the side cheering for you to get rich. So with that being said, if there was one finance book out there that you guys would recommend to anyone out there watching this video, what is that finance book? To me, it's The Psychology of Money. That is a great book. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.